Hunger isn't something you're born with and lose. It's a fire you've got to stoke every single day. You want to know what keeps the greats going? What separates the ones who fade from the ones who dominate? It's not talent. It's not opportunity. It's hunger. A deep, gnawing, relentless hunger that doesn't let you sleep, doesn't let you settle, doesn't let you stop. If you're not hungry, you're coasting. And coasting is the slow road to nowhere. You've got to stay hungry. Because the moment you get full, you're finished. Comfort is your enemy. You're sitting there patting yourself on the back for what you've already done, thinking you've earned a break. Let me tell you something. The second you get comfortable, you're dying. Success isn't a couch, it's a cliff. You don't rest on it. You climb it, and the higher you go, the hungrier you've got to be. Because the fall is longer and the stakes are bigger. You've got to train yourself to crave more. Not just when you're broke or desperate, but when you're winning. Especially when you're winning. That's when most people let the fire die. Don't be most people. Remember where you started. You think you're too big now? Too good? Go back to that place in your mind where you had nothing. Where you were scratching, clawing, dreaming just to get a taste of something better. That kid, that fighter, that hustler is still in you. Don't let them fade. Keep that memory close, because it's fuel. It's the raw, ugly, beautiful truth of who you are and why you started. Hunger lives in the struggle. If you forget the struggle, you forget the hunger. So look back, not to dwell, but to reignite. Let it burn in your chest until you can't sit still. Set the bar higher. You hit a goal. Good, now double it, triple it. Make it so big it scares you. Hunger thrives on challenge. If your dreams don't wake you up in a cold sweat, they're too small. You've got to want something so bad it hurts. So bad you can taste it, feel it, see it every time you close your eyes. And when you get it, don't stop. Don't celebrate too long. Tip your hat, crack your knuckles, and chase the next one. The hungry don't sit at the table picking crumbs. They're out hunting the next feast. Surround yourself with wolves, not sheep. You want to stay hungry? Get rid of the people who tell you you've done enough. The clappers, the cheerleaders, the ones who say, relax, you've made it. They're poison. You need the ones who push you, who provoke you, who look at you and say, is that all you've got? Find the hungry ones, the dreamers, the grinders, the ones who aren't satisfied with good enough. They'll keep your fire lit. They'll make you restless. They'll remind you there's more out there, and you're not getting it sitting still. Embrace the grind. Hunger isn't pretty. It's not motivational posters and soft music. It's sweat. It's late nights. It's early mornings. It's doing the work when your body's screaming no, and your mind's begging for a break. You've got to love the grind. Not just tolerate it. Love it, because the grind is where hunger lives. It's the proof you're still in the game. You don't stay hungry by wishing for it. You stay hungry by showing up, day after day, even when the winds aren't coming. Especially when the winds aren't coming. That's when you dig deeper. Stop comparing yourself to others. You're looking at their plate, their wins, their spotlight, and it's killing your appetite. Their story isn't yours. Their pace isn't yours. You want to stay hungry. Focus on your race. Run it harder, faster, longer than you did yesterday. The only person you're competing with is the one you were last week. Beat that version of yourself. Starve that version of yourself. Leave them in the dust and keep pushing. The moment you start chasing someone else's shadow, you lose your edge. Fear the plateau more than the fall. Falling keeps you sharp. It reminds you you're alive. You're fighting. But the plateau, that's death. That's where hunger goes to rot. You've got to keep moving, keep climbing, keep reaching. Even when it hurts, even when you're tired. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. There's no middle ground. So when you feel yourself slowing down, when you feel that itch to coast, slap yourself awake. Tell yourself, not today. Hunger doesn't negotiate with complacency. Feed your mind. You can't stay hungry if you're running on empty. Read, listen, learn. Seek out the stories of the ones who came before you. The ones who fought, bled, and won. Let their victories light a spark in you. Let their failures teach you. Knowledge is fuel. Ideas are fuel. The more you pour in, the hungrier you get. Because you start seeing what's possible. You start realizing the world's bigger than you thought, and your piece of it isn't big enough yet. Don't let failure kill your appetite. You're going to lose sometimes. You're going to get knocked down, embarrassed, rejected. Good. That's the seasoning. That's what makes the win taste better. Failure isn't the opposite of hunger. It's the spark. It's the growl in your stomach, telling you to get back up and take another bite. The hungry don't cry over spilled milk. They mop it up, learn from it, and go get a bigger glass. Every loss is a lesson. Every setback is a setup. Use it. Purpose keeps you starving. You've got to know why you're hungry. Not just for money, not just for fame. Those fade. What's the fire in your gut for? Who's it for? What's it building? When you've got a reason bigger than yourself, you don't run out of fuel. You don't get full. You keep going because it's not just about you anymore. It's about the people counting on you, the legacy you're leaving, the mark you're making. Find your why, and let it drive you until your last breath. Time is slipping. You think you've got all day. You don't. Every minute you waste feeling sorry for yourself, every hour you spend on distractions, every day you let slide, is a bite taken out of your hunger. You've got to move like the clock's against you, because it is. Get up, right now. Do something, anything. Make a call, write a line, take a step. Hunger doesn't wait for tomorrow. It feeds today. Give it away. Share your hunger. Teach somebody else to want more, to fight harder, to dream bigger. When you lift others, you don't lose your edge. You sharpen it. You remind yourself why you started, what you're chasing, what's at stake. The hungry don't hoard. They multiply. They build. They ignite. That's how you keep the fire alive. Not by holding it close, but by spreading it wide. Never settle. Never. I don't care how much you've got in the bank, how many awards are on your shelf, how many people are clapping for you. It's not enough. It's never enough. The hungry don't stop at good. They don't stop at great. They stop when they're in the ground. And even then they want their name to keep running. You've got more in you. More fight. More vision. More grit. So keep chasing it. Keep starving for it. Keep clawing for it. Because the day you stop being hungry is the day you stop being you. Stay hungry. Not because you have to, but because you can't imagine living any other way. That's the fire that fuels greatness. Don't let it go out.